Everybody, welcome to Snow Talk. This is Way 3 News meteorologist Brian Good, and sorry, my earpiece dingling there. Anyway, yeah, look at the snow stats. Last year, at this time, we had nearly 11.5 inches of snow for the season. So, looking at the snowboard, what is ahead for us? Nothing. I have no items I can add that, with any type of confidence whatsoever, of a potential snow event. And even when you look at the Euro long range, there's like one ensemble that may try to give us a trace, but that's really about it. Maybe two ensembles looks like there. That's it. I mean, it's just a very warm pattern that will continue to infiltrate a good chunk of the lower 48. Keep in mind, for the least snowiest winters on record, we're going to be, if we don't get any more snow, and March will count, and April counts too, all the way through June. Keep that in mind. But at this point, hopefully it doesn't snow in June, but 2.7 would replace our records as the 10th least snowiest winter on record for Louisville. Not good news. All right, let's talk about the short term. We'll get into the pattern here in a second. First off, clear skies. Beautiful to start the day off. We do have a system moving our way that's going to give us some cloud cover later on. These are high-level cirrus clouds. See that moisture there? A lot of that's not reaching the ground, because there's a lot of dry air. I mean, there's just a bit of moisture, but I mean, there's a lot of dry air. So even though the radar may light up as this wave moves over us late tonight and early tomorrow, I doubt much will be able to reach the ground. All right. Yes, this is part of that phasing deal we were talking about last week. Here's the blizzard winding down shortly and heading out to Nova Scotia. This is the piece that's going to be cut off here in the southwest that we're monitoring. It's going to roll out, and this is the piece that, if it were to come out at the same time and try to phase together, we would perhaps have something a little more exciting to talk about. But it looks like this is going to beat it and get through here rapidly before this part here that lags behind has a chance. There will be some phasing, but it should likely be for the Mid-Atlantic, and then perhaps another snowstorm for New England out of that. Crazy stuff. Here it is on Future Cache. You'll see that early tomorrow morning, that wave of moisture again, likely more radar-based aloft than it will be surface reports of that, but we'll keep a small chance in for some sprinkles and flurries. And then we get a southwest wind ahead of the actual front of that wave moving through Canada, and that should allow for, once it passes through, another drop in temperatures into Tuesday night and early Wednesday. But nothing drastic. So let's look at the models for down the road here. We do have a system this weekend, I should mention, in the southern part of the country. That looks to stay just to our south. We'll monitor that. Otherwise, we head into Monday. Here's our system we've been watching for a while that's going to roll out into the plains. Now, the exact placement of that is going to be a determining factor here on the severity of it and where that would actually take place. I think right now, this area, the Arklatex area in the deep south, a little more prone to perhaps some strong thunderstorms. We'll see how far north this could influence the Ohio Valley or even the Midwest for, say, Tuesday of next week. A lot of warmth. I think 60s and 70s are likely this setup for early next week. And then as we head into the passage of it, one thing to note here is the tilt here. And notice even the GFS and certainly on the Euro, there's a negative tilt. Anytime you get troughs where the front's moving in at a tilt angle, sometimes with the severity of the thunderstorms could be more severe. You got more of a shear factor going on. And you got to worry about damaging winds and even isolated tornadoes in that setup. Usually when we have systems coming through more like this, a positive tilt, it's less likely to have anything more than just damaging winds in isolated cases. But when you get at that negative tilt, that does raise our eyebrows, and we are seeing signs of that here, especially in the Euro and the GFS. Notice, though, there's not. I mean, they're a little dramatic on the cold air behind it, but the ensembles are not. And I think that's likely the case. I don't think it's going to be that dramatic of a cold shot behind this system. Again, here's the GFS. We lose the Euro and the Canadian operational, but you see how GFS is trying to bring in some colder air, but again, I doubt it's going to be the case. I think we're going to get flooded rapidly again with a southwest wind as soon as that moves by early next week. So anything that's a cool shot, that wind direction is going to switch around fairly rapidly, and then we get ready for our next system. And as we get toward the end of the month here, weird setup overall. We're seeing signs of the jets slowing down a bit in the western United States, which would be more of a cutoff deal. Not exactly a cold setup for us, even though the trough looks like it's angled over us. Maybe some cooler weather or near normal, but nothing Arctic or anything like that. In fact, usually we get fast-moving systems as a result of that. Here's the issue all season long. We've had to deal, here's the United States right here, by the way. We've had to deal with such a strong Pacific jet, roaring through the Pacific Ocean into the western United States, just blasting us with cold Arctic air, or excuse me, with warm Pacific air. Anyway, and it's cutting off that cold Arctic air, keeping it all really trapped and letting little glances of it come through every once in a while. Not totally unexpected. We knew it was going to be a setup like that, where the cold air would be centered more north and northeast this season, but I don't think anybody bet on the jet being that strong this year. That's overwhelming. As we get toward the end of the month, we do see that jet aloft relax a bit, and that's when I do think we get more of a troughiness in the western United States. Still not exactly a setup here for cold air to come our way. In fact, we may get more of a zonal flow, which will just be average weather as we get toward the end of the month and early March. We'll see how that plays out. The ensembles certainly indicate that we will likely stay more on the warmer side. That PNA there tells me it's going to be a trough in California and the Rockies, and this tells me zonal flow on the NAL. So no signs of really of a cold Arctic intrusion, despite the fact that the signal analysis is trying to hint at it around the last 10 days or so of the month. It tries to hint that potential is there. I'm not sold on that yet. You can see we begin to warm things back up, and look at that, early March, the first 10 days of March. That, to me, screams a very active severe weather period in early March. We'll see if that happens or not. So, sorry, snow lovers. I mean, it doesn't mean we can't still get snow the rest of the season. You know how it is. But from here on out, any type of snow event will likely be those wet snows that are very temporary and are in and out here pretty quick. But not impossible. You know how weather goes in the Ohio Valley in March. Wild stuff happens. So, let's see how it goes. 1 week at a time.